You're a salaried employee. Well, lucky you. You get to go through the annual performance review, and you know, review season's coming up. The Society for Human Resource Management says 90% of companies do this, but the process is hated by employees and managers, and their value is really suspect. Tom Gimbel, he runs the staffing firm LaSalle Network, and you see this all the time. They don't engage workforces. In fact, they often demoralize people.
They really do. I mean, managers and employers, they don't realize the anxiety that employees have leading up to performance reviews. And the reason that is because managers are not engaging the employees throughout the year. I've said for decades that employees should never be surprised at what comes up in an annual review.
And Tom, they're always tied to a raise, so that adds a little extra level of
Well, employees hope they're tied to a raise, Bill.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the way the economy's been the past few years, there isn't always a raise tied into it, which is even more important to have the conversations leading up to it. So every quarter, I would personally think, depending on the ratio, managers should be talking to their employees once a month about where they are, how they've handled projects, so it continues to be a process that leads up to it. It should be a ladder effect.
All right, Tom, I've got my performance review coming up. What should I say, do, and act to come across as best as possible?
Well, number one, as an employee, you really should be requesting information from your manager throughout the year. So having ongoing dialogue. Do it verbally as well as via email. You don't want everything to be just via email. You've got to have face-to-face interaction. Number two, you really have to document what you've accomplished. So there's two things. Either A, you're in a position that saved the company money, or B, you brought in revenue. So know what those accomplishments are. And three, talk about what you've done culture-wise. Either A, were there philanthropic aspects that the company wanted you to engage in, B, were there team-building activities, or C, were there other projects that the company wanted you to accomplish that you did that were outside of your job scope.
Essentially, you said if the company doesn't talk to you regularly through the year, the employee should proactively see that perhaps that's done.
You need to be accountable to yourself. So if not all managers and not all companies train managers on how to become effective leaders and communicators. As an employee, you've got to own it. You've got to go and initiate the dialogue to your manager.
Tom Gimbel from LaSalle Network. Thanks so much.
Always good to be with you.